everybody. This is Kevin, your host for Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. And today is going to be an exciting episode. This is episode number 23. I'm climbing up there in the ranks as far as number of episodes on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked any of them out yet, go by the YouTube channel. Just look up Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. I always start my episodes by thanking my support team, which is Caitlin Kornick, Deputy Devin, and Wendy Santana in Richmond, and then also Jennifer Smitis, the Area Vice President. So thank you very much. And if you guys are in need of title services, you know you got to call Stewart Title, Sugarland, or Richmond. My escrow officers have many, many years of experience and do a great job. So in saying all that, let's get started with the Kevin's Corner. So I have a special guest on my episode today that I met 5 minutes ago. Her name is Michele Green, and she's with Security National Mortgage Company. I would say hi to everybody, Michele.
Hi.
So tell everybody real quick what you do for Security National and where you're located.
I'm a loan officer for Security National Mortgage. I am down in the Friendswood area, but of course we service all of Houston and actually all of Texas.
Nice. And how long have you been with the company?
I have been with the Stephen Curtis Group for 3 years. We were originally with Fairway. We all switched over to Security National in January of this year.
Okay. How do you like it?
Love it.
Awesome. Yeah, Carrie Jo, who's sitting right there in the corner. Everybody remembers Carrie Jo.
Can't forget Carrie Jo.
Yeah, she loves it too. So, tell everybody what Security National is.
We do residential mortgages, so we help everybody with home purchases, refinances, but in addition to that, we do have a sister company where we are able to offer hard money loans, investor loans, so we have a whole portfolio of projects. We can do commercial loans, we can do one-time construction closed loans, we can do just about anything related to residential mortgages.
So you mentioned something that I'm very familiar with because I spent 7 years in property management. That's where I met Carrie Jo. Hard money.
Yes.
So for the people that are watching this don't know what that is, because a lot of people don't, even agents that are in the business don't know what that is. Tell everybody what that is.
So a hard money loan is where you're purchasing a property as an investment and the home needs rehab, it needs renovations. So we come in, we fund the project and the repair budget. Of course, I do have to have, depending on what the value of the home is, I do have to come in with some of their own funds.
Right.
But you purchase the home, do the renovations, and then sell it. And then a hard money loan is a short-term loan, usually 3 to 6 months, as opposed to your traditional mortgage loan that's 15 or 30 years.
Right. And then after the 3 to 6 month period, you can either list the property for the ARV value,
correct,
which is where you would make your money,
yes,
or if you're an investor, not a flipper, you're going to hold it and rent it out.
Correct. If you're gonna hold it and rent it out, you're gonna convert that loan to a permanent conventional investment loan.
Probably 30 years.
Probably 30 years.
Yeah.
And then hang on to it as an investor.
But if you're a real estate agent, the reason why this is important is because working with Mr. and Mrs. Smith that are buying their dream home or selling their home they've been in for 30 years versus working with Mr. and Mrs. Investor is a completely different world. But if you are able to find an investor that likes the way you help them and is a good investor that buys and sells 2 or 3 times a year, you can get 3 transactions per property.
Absolutely.
Buying it for them, renting it for them, and selling it for them. So those kinds of clients can actually set you up for success for the entire year as far as financially goes. But a lot of agents don't want to work with investors because they don't care that the walls are painted and the yard looks good. They're heard about the numbers.
Yes.
They're all they care about is the numbers. So what are some of the programs that Security National has and they can offer their clients, like first-time home buyers and no down payment and things like that? Do you have other kinds of programs?
We have everything. We have, of course, your FHA, conventional, VA, USDA. We offer all of the loan programs, but then we do first-time homebuyer programs. Mm-hmm. We have down payment assistance programs. We are affiliated with all 3 here in the Texas area. for down payment assistance. So we have those options for first-time home buyers. We even have our own in-house down payment assistance program that goes
Really?
down to a 580 credit score. Your traditional
Even I can afford to buy a
your
house now.
traditional down payment assistance programs require a 620. So we
Okay.
do have some options for, and ours, in addition, down payment assistance programs, they have credit score, obviously, requirements and income limits. So depending on your income, there are some first-time home buyers that don't qualify because they make too much money.
Yeah.
Our down payment assistance program, we do have one that does not have an income limit.
The interest rate would probably be a little bit higher.
Interest rates are a little bit higher on any of the down payment assistance programs. Of course, that's kind of the trade-off. And on your down payment assistance programs, traditionally, most of them, you can't refinance or sell the property within the first 3 years, depending on which option you go with. But right now, most of them are what we call the 3-year forgivable second lien, meaning the home can't be refinanced or sold within the first 3 years. If you do, then the assistance that you were provided has to be repaid.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But most people are not going to sell or refinance their home within 3 years, or sell anyway. 3 years comes, and yes, you have a little bit higher rate. If rates are lower at that point, you can refinance to the lower rate.
So what kind of feedback or communication or whatever pushback are you guys getting in your part of the real estate world as far as real estate, interest rates right now and home prices?
Obviously, you have some people that the rates don't bother them at all. They're like, the rates are what they are. I've got to buy, whether it's a relocation or it's just the right time for them. So you have some that obviously it doesn't bother. Some of them, they are a little bit gun shy, but when we talk to them and explain, 2 years ago, you might have had a 3% interest rate, but you paid $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 over just to get your offer accepted. And at that time, if a buyer, especially first-time home buyers, making an offer with a down payment assistance program, a lot of times their offers weren't accepted because someone was coming in with cash, a conventional loan, 20% down, so they weren't viewed as as strong of an offer. At this point in this market, yes, rates are a little bit higher, but you can go in, you're able to get those first-time home buyer FHA 3.5% down loans. You're able to get their offers accepted easier. I have one closing next week that's getting their earnest money back at closing using down payment assistance. Instead of negotiating off the price, they ask for some closing cost, and they'll be out of pocket, no money at closing.
Yeah, what agents are telling me is that they're, and I'm sure you've heard this, they're telling their clients, look, if the interest rate is an issue for you, it shouldn't be, because buy now and then refinance later.
Absolutely.
Unless you're in one of those assistance programs. But because, I mean, when I bought my house in Pearland, I bought it in 2004, I bought it at 11%. So when people say, the interest rates are high, I'm like, you don't know what high is.
No.
But, you just got to educate people.
Exactly. And that's,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, a lot of times it's, don't focus on the rate. It's let's focus on the payment. So what payment are you trying to get? Okay, well, here's our options to get to that payment. Maybe we can get seller assistance. We can do a temporary buy down, what we call a 2-1 buy down, or we can get money and do a permanent buy down. But there are other options we can look at to, instead of focusing on rate, focus on the payment, and let's see what options we can do to get you in that home and keep that payment where you're comfortable.
Do you guys help people that come to you and say, I want to buy a home, and then when you do the due diligence on them and realize they really can't right now, do you have some kind of assistance or program where you can help them get where they can get approved?
Absolutely. In-house, we can, if I have someone comes to me and credit scores maybe are a little bit off and we just need a little bit of work, I have reports I can run and walk them through step by step on what needs to be done. Sometimes it's 3 months, sometimes 6 months. If it's someone that credit's a little bit lower or it needs a little bit more help, I do have a credit repair program that I work hand in hand with, that they keep me updated throughout the process, that I can refer them to help them get where they need to be.
Nice. So let's kind of switch gears here for a little bit. So this is Kevin's Corner, real estate from a marketing perspective. And I know Carrie Jo, we market together a lot. So what do you do in your world in the Friendswood area as far as marketing and getting in front of agents and basically growing your business?
I have a lot of my agents that I work directly with that we're not only referral partners, we're friends. So just developing those relationships. I teach classes in the area. We do a lot of.
No, do you really? What do you teach?
I know. All kinds of loan classes, mortgage, basics.
Well, how come she hasn't taught for over here?
Credit issues.
Oh, it's my responsibility.
We talk about credit. We talk about mortgage. We talk about, what other classes do we have? We have lots of great classes.
We have an interest rate class, credit repair class.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before you leave, let's have a chat.
I would love it. Yeah.
Carrie Jo's like, what? So, if you didn't know, I teach CE classes too.
I did not know.
But Carrie Jo.
Oh my golly.
But mine are not about mortgage and stuff. Mine are all about marketing. So I have 9 CE classes that I teach, and that's exactly, I do the same thing. I teach my classes to get agents in the room, and then half of them want to meet me one-on-one so I can help them with their marketing.
Grow their business.
And half of those send me contracts. So good job. I like that. Where have you been?
We have some of our classes are CE as well.
Teaches,
We do CE and
we have
just
four
lunch and
CE
learns.
classes,
Yeah.
2 hour.
Really? Well, we're going to have to get you on the calendar because
So there's other Stephen Curtis Group loan officers that have been in and taught for you, Kevin.
really?
Yeah.
When was this? No, really?
There's no names that I can mention.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, yes, I remember them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we have someone reliable to do that.
Now I'll come teach.
There you go. You'll come all the way to Friendswood, from Friendswood to Sugar Land?
For you, I will.
Okay. Hey, that's a winning combination right there. Awesome.
I mean, you drive from Pearland here.
I drive from Pearland every day to come here.
See?
Yeah.
I can do it.
What else do you do marketing? Are you social media? What else do you do marketing wise?
Social media, lunch and learns, do our classes. I do a lot. Like I said, I mean, I try and meet one-on-one with a lot of my referral partners 3 to 5 times a week. So I do a lot of one-on-ones, lunches,
about
happy hours.
Networking events.
I do some networking events. I don't do as many as I used to.
She needs to come to ours.
Okay.
How many agents were at our happy hour last month?
Didn't you say over 100?
Over 100.
That's a great turnout.
We have the largest happy hour event in Fort Bend County every month.
Y'all do?
Yeah.
I haven't been invited.
Again, what's going on?
There's what we call territory and branches. But we can work on that.
True.
She's more than welcome to come anytime she wants.
I don't want to step on any toes.
No, there's no toes. You guys are the mortgage company for the happy hour, the only one. So, what else is going on with Security National? Anything special coming up for the future?
Security National is always, and especially the Stephen Curtis Group, we're always trying to think outside the box. Different ways we can help borrowers and sellers in this market. It is a little bit of a crazy market, but people still need homes. So we're always trying to think outside the box, trying to come up with new products, whatever we can do to help.
So when someone approaches you and says, hey, I'm interested in buying a property or a home, whether it's a first home or second home or whatever it is, how do you handle them? What's the first thing you say to them? What do you need? What kind of information do you need from them?
So start off, and depending on what information we need, depends on what kind of loan they're doing and how their income is structured. So, first question is, I always ask, is it your first home? Because if so, then I know I need to be a little bit more detailed, making sure kind of explain everything along the way. But if someone's self-employed, I need their tax returns. If they work for an employer, I don't need tax returns. I need W-2s rather than tax returns. So we start off the process completing the loan application, all their personal information, employment, residence history, all that great stuff, and then collecting the documents needed to support all of the information, W-2s, pay stubs, and bank statements. From there, I create personal loan strategies. I review the file. Are they a first-time home buyer? Okay, great. Let me set up options for them here. depending on what type of loan they're looking at and if they're a move up or a repeat or first time home buyer, I create personal loan strategies and then send those over and review those.
So would you say your application process or approval process is fairly easy, smooth compared to your competitors, or is it?
Our goal is always to make it as easy and as smooth and stress-free as possible.
Tell everybody what the difference between pre-qualified and pre-approved is, because I get this question all
Good
the time.
one. It's a good one. So pre-qualification can mean several things. So if I send a pre-qualification letter, someone has submitted their loan app and they've submitted all their documents. I have verified their income. Just because they put $5,000 income a month on their loan app doesn't mean they make $5,000 a month. So I have actually verified the income. I have verified their cash to close. I have verified everything, and I issue a pre-qualification letter. Some places, especially online, someone goes online, applies, and doesn't speak to anyone, and then they get this automatic pre-qualification letter. That's not going to be as solid as if you spoke to someone, submitted your documents, and reviewed it. You want to make sure that the pre-qualification, that whoever is issuing it has actually verified their income, their assets, and they're solid. Taking it a step further, a pre-approval is where I take the full file, I submit it to our underwriting department for a full review, and we get what we call conditional approval letter. They are fully approved through underwriting based on income and assets. All we need is a property address, title work, and appraisal.
And from the time that someone submits the paperwork, how long does it take on average for you to get approved?
Pre-qualification, I issue within 24 hours. If they want to go the full pre-approval process through underwriting, about 5 to 7 business days.
Okay. So is it a good idea to be looking for a home while you're waiting to be pre-approved, or should you wait until you get the letter?
You should wait till you have your pre-qualification letter. I tell everyone, once you have the pre-qualification letter, you're good to look at homes.
Okay.
But again, I also am very detailed. I make sure that I have verified their income, their assets. They know exactly what price range to be looking in. So yes, so they can be looking once they're pre-qualified while the file's being underwritten and getting the pre-approval ready.
Something else I wanted to bring up that I know is very important to Carrie Jo, because I've helped her with this over the years. You guys do VA loans?
We do.
Tell everybody about that, and you guys, how important working with veterans is.
Super important to us, near and dear to our hearts. We love serving those who have served. We wear red on Fridays for Red Friday. Carrie Jo has our shirt over there. So just, yeah, it's really neat for us to be able to help them. And, you know, you had asked a good question. What if someone's credit's not where it needs to be, or are they not ready? You know, especially when it comes to our veterans, it just makes you feel really good to be able to help them, get them in a home. And when I have someone that's pre-approved, and I call the listing agent before, when someone's making an offer, I always call the listing agent, and I do let them know that, yes, it's a VA loan, that, you know, just because it's 100% financing doesn't mean that it's not as strong as any other offer coming in, because a lot of times VA loans are looked at like it's not as strong, or there's going to be different restrictions. The seller's going to have to pay additional money, which
why would they be looked upon as not as strong when 100% of the money is guaranteed? I don't understand that.
Listing agents just like conventional loans. They like conventional. They like 20% down. FHA and VA just isn't.
They get their commission either way.
They get their commission either way, but they want to make sure that the loan's going to close, obviously, but that's going to be with any loan. VA does have a little bit more stricter guidelines when it comes to their appraisal. So if you've got rotten wood, if you've got peeling paint, there are a few things that your appraisal is going to be a little bit more strict on. But other than that, our veterans are provided this benefit of 100% financing. They've served our country, so this is a benefit to them. There is a reason why they get 100% financing. And so,
to have an agent frown upon a VA loan, that's never mind. So there is and I can't remember it. Maybe you can help me. But there's an event that you guys are major supporters of every year that I think got moved to next year.
Yes.
What is that event?
It's in March, and it is our, what are we?
What the name?
Yeah,
of
what's the name?
Yeah, what's the name of the event?
VA class. It's a 2-hour CE class, and it is it's going to be based on what a real estate agent needs to know in regards to serving a veteran to their best of ability when purchasing a home.
Mm-hmm.
All of the details about educating them when they come out back into civilianhood and all that.
And if I remember correctly, there's a veteran that's highlighted at the event, correct?
Mhm.
So it's a charity event.
Okay.
And so 100% of the funds that we raise goes straight to a veteran that we have chosen, and we gift them. We won't ruin the surprise, but we gift them
Right.
monumental. Maybe sometimes it's a service dog, maybe it's a check, maybe it's.
And there's
Depends
several,
on their needs.
and there's several different ways you can contribute to this while you're there. You can cash donations, you can buy shirts, you can buy food, you can buy whatever. So,
It's a 2-hour study that we charge the real estate agent, but that goes to the fundraiser.
goes to the fundraising, yeah. So look out for that next year in March, guys. It's a very important event. 2 members of my family were in the military, so I'm also been 23-year member of USAA, so I know what this is all about. It's near and dear to my heart as well. So, Michele, why don't you tell everybody how to get a hold of you?
I would love to. You can reach me directly. My cell phone, 713-725-6474. Email, Michele with 1 L, Michele .green, just like the color, at SNMC.com.
1 L, that's unique.
Yes.
Let's so we wrap up the podcast. Tell everybody one thing about Michele Green that you want everybody in the podcast world to know about how you conduct your business.
How I conduct my business. Service is everything. I think there's nothing more important than I return phone calls, I return emails, and I don't ever want anyone at the end of the loan process to say, that didn't make sense, I didn't understand, or that wasn't a good process. I want it to be a smooth, enjoyable process.
Awesome. And you answer your phone, correct?
And I answer my phone.
Awesome. Give them the phone number one more time.
713-725-6474.
Thank you very much, Michele, for being on the podcast. This is Michele Green. Carrie Jo Woodling in the corner back there. We're not seeing her, but we can hear her.
Always.
So we're going to get ready for the second segment of Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. Until then, we'll be right back. Say goodbye, Michele.
Bye.
Bye.